Chosen one, you didn't land here by accident. Something in your spirit was already stirring, already reaching, already knowing that the atmosphere has shifted. And now here you are, standing at the edge of everything you've been sensing but couldn't quite explain. Let this be your confirmation. You were right to feel it. This is your moment. The veil is lifting. The masks are falling. The games are over. You are not just watching prophecy unfold. You are part of it. You are not background noise in this generation. You are a voice, a force, a mover in the unseen. You've been stretched, pressed, misunderstood, and overlooked. But that was never the end of your story. That was training. That was alignment. That was heaven carving out space for the weight you were born to carry. And now the time has come to rise like never before. So lean in. Not timidly. Not with doubt. But with boldness. With clarity. With fire. The shaking is not to destroy you. It's to reveal you. And while others are crumbling under the pressure, you're about to step into the purpose that pressure was preparing you for. Let's be clear. This isn't hype. This is heaven's summons. You are not here to survive the storm. You are here to lead through it. Ready? Let's go. Looking for purpose and peace? Hit subscribe and start the journey. You are not ordinary, and this moment is not casual. Every fiber of your being has been sculpted for what's unfolding now. Not in the future, not in theory, but in this precise moment. Before you move forward, mark your agreement with action. Let your response echo beyond the screen. This is not about clicks or numbers. It's about signaling that your spirit is awake and responding to a higher pull. This calling didn't just knock, it entered with fire. What's been set in motion cannot be undone. You're not waiting for a distant shift. It has already begun. And it's not arriving in comfort. It's coming through challenge, confrontation, and cleansing. The time for waiting has expired. You were not made to cower through storms. You were designed to stand in the center of them and speak. This isn't symbolic. This is not a distant lesson wrapped in metaphor. Everything you thought was stable is being tested. Your circles, your foundations, your very sense of identity. This is a threshold moment, and not everyone will cross it. Not because they're incapable, but because they refuse to prepare. The cost of delay is rising, and neutrality is no longer an option. What's coming is not destruction for the sake of chaos. It's an eruption meant to refine. This storm has a purpose: to burn off the false comfort and false identities you've clung to. This is the season where pretending will break you, but authenticity will transform you. There's no mercy in stagnation. You're being asked to choose decisiveness over delay. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a light in someone's darkness. This is the kind of turning point that history whispers about. The kind that doesn't come with announcements, only impact. Those who are ready will become pillars. Those who resist will be scattered. You're not being asked to survive by chance. You're being positioned to reign with purpose. And yes, it's heavy. Yes, it's uncomfortable. But that pressure is not punishment, it's refinement. It's proof that your assignment carries weight, and that you are worthy of the responsibility. This isn't just about you. It's about every future moment that depends on your obedience today. You're standing on ground that will never feel the same again. The fork before you is not a suggestion. It is an irreversible divide. This is your defining hour. The voice you follow now will shape everything that comes next. Do not waste it trying to make the past fit the future. That chapter is closed. What stands ahead is not your ending. It's your sacred emergence. Some awakenings don't come gently. They arrive like a fire that won't be ignored. This isn't collapse. This is recalibration. What you're walking through is not the end, but the beginning of a higher dimension of being. This transition is fierce for a reason. It's reshaping every part of you into what was always intended. Not everyone will go through it, and even fewer will complete it. But you were never built for shallow growth. This elevation requires your full participation. This isn't a drift into destiny, it's a deliberate ascent. The shift isn't automatic. It demands readiness, alignment, clarity. If you don't consciously prepare for what's shifting in the unseen, you risk being swept away by what's coming in the scene. This transformation is not just emotional or intellectual. It touches your entire existence. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. This new dimension will not support the old patterns. Your thinking must evolve. Your energy must sharpen. Your intentions must be pure. What held you back before can't come with you. This upgrade demands you drop what's fake and hold only what's real. No more dragging fear, guilt, or compromise into your next season. This is the stage of redefinition. And historically, elevation has always come with hardship. There's always a proving ground before the release. Look back through sacred texts and you'll see it. Every forerunner faced resistance before breakthrough. You're not exempt. You're being invited into the same process that shapes legends. Be prepared for fractures. Certain people, places, and ideas will fall away, and it will feel personal. But this isn't punishment. It's refinement. Separation always comes before clarity. You're not losing. You're being trimmed for accuracy. Connections that once seemed vital may dissolve. Let them. Only what's rooted in truth will remain. Yes, it will hurt. And yes, you may grieve. But the emptiness you feel is clearing room for divine strategy. It's not random. It's holy. You are being stripped of distraction to make room for sacred alignment. The temporary sorrow is the cost of long-term authority. But this is not only about loss. On the other side is replenishment so undeniable, it won't make sense. What was taken will be returned, amplified, restored, and refined. Things that disappeared without explanation will reappear in better form. Opportunities you thought had passed will be handed back. Only now. You'll be ready to hold them. What seemed impossible will unfold quickly. Favor will move ahead of you, breaking barriers you never touched. This reversal won't arrive with warning. It will simply be. You'll wake up one day and realize the drought ended. The doors unlocked. The delay lifted. And it won't be luck. It will be the reward for preparation few were willing to do. Understand this. What protects you in chaos is not chance, but alignment. Those who have trained their spirit, those who've walked through this fire with obedience, will not just survive, they'll rise. Their protection will look like miracles. Their provision will look like impossibilities. And it will all be rooted in preparation. Divine backing is not reserved for the careless. It is given to the focused. When the world shakes, it will not be the clever who stand, but the consecrated. Favor is not found. It's formed through fire, forged in commitment. Look at those who stood before. When everything fell apart, they rose not because of status, but because of surrender. You are not excluded from that kind of power, but it comes at the cost of preparation. Now is that time. Not later. Not when it's safe. Not when it's obvious. Now. Step in fully, or stay behind. There's no middle. This is the separation. This is the choosing ground. And you already know which side you're called to. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a light in someone's darkness. Some of you don't just carry potential. You carry a calling. And that kind of weight doesn't land on just anyone. It finds those willing to be forged, not flattered. Power doesn't appear out of convenience. It's carved through consistent inner work, precise alignment, and a commitment to growth that doesn't flinch when tested. The strength you're called to carry can't be improvised. It requires a conscious buildup of your mindset, your emotional resilience, your spiritual insight. This isn't about performance or superiority. It's about stepping into your assignment with readiness, equipped to influence from a place of grounded authority, not hollow noise. Just like a strategist doesn't go to the field without studying the terrain, you're being called to prepare deliberately. Victory doesn't go to the untrained. It belongs to those who sharpen themselves long before the pressure arrives. That sharpening is happening now, and how you show up for it will determine everything. Every internal battle you face is not random. It's preparing you to lead in places where fear has previously ruled. The clarity you're gaining, it's not just for you. It's meant to cut through confusion, misdirection, and compromise in the lives of others. Your process is birthing precision. The breakthroughs you're longing for are not delayed. They're waiting for your full alignment. The transformation underway is more than personal. It's generational. The version of you emerging from this is not just healed, it's luminous. You become an anchor for others, a stabilizer in storms, a presence that speaks peace into chaos. You're not here to blend in. You're here to emit light that cuts through pretense and calls people home to their truth. That glow is not charisma, it's conviction. It's what happens when you stop performing and start embodying. Your clarity becomes magnetic. Your presence becomes proof. And yes, it will be noticed. Those who once dismissed, you won't be able to explain the shift, but they'll feel it. The upgrade you've been undergoing is about to go public. What you carry will speak for itself. No announcement necessary. As the old foundations crumble, new alliances are being built from the ground up, connections that strengthen, not drain. These are not casual relationships. They are soul-forged, battle-tested, and purpose-birthed. The ones meant to walk with you now will recognize your voice, not your past. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. Let go of what dissolved. It had to. What's replacing it is rooted in truth. This new alignment isn't just about companionship. It's about shared vision, mutual sharpening, and divine rhythm. You're not just finding people. You're finding pillars. What once felt lost within you is being reignited. Not as a flicker, but as a roaring flame. You're not wandering anymore. You're anchoring. What once confused you is now becoming your clearest guide. Your steps are gaining weight. Your words are carrying power, and the fog is lifting. You're not just remembering who you are. You're stepping fully into it. This mission was never canceled. It was being refined. And now the time has come for you to move like someone who finally knows. With certainty, with depth, with fire in your bones. Look to the ones who endured before you, not for comparison, but for confirmation. Their stories remind you that preparation always precedes elevation. Your turnaround isn't coming. It's already unfolding. Stay ready. Stay true. And above all, stay aligned. The shift is already in motion, and this time, you're not watching from the sidelines. You're leading it. There are those who carry divine alignment like a current in their bones, and when that connection deepens, the atmosphere around them begins to respond. Shifts happen suddenly. Breakthroughs that logic can't explain begin unfolding, not because of coincidence, but because their lives are synchronized with a higher rhythm that overrides earthly delay. This isn't about wishful thinking or spiritual luck. It's the product of sustained, focused discipline. Tuning into divine flow requires daily alignment, choosing reverence over routine, silence over noise, surrender over ego. It's a steady flow of connection, where every act of devotion fine-tunes your access to supernatural provision. When you walk in sync with divine direction, your life stops reflecting survival and starts radiating purpose. Provision becomes the byproduct of presence. You no longer chase blessings. They're drawn to you through the clarity of your alignment. That's the power of frequency built on obedience and faith. And those who rise through this kind of process don't emerge untouched. They emerge equipped. Their scars become wisdom. Their journey becomes a guidepost for others. In a world aching for clarity, they become voices of direction, stability, and grace. Not because they were spared, but because they were willing. This new era doesn't ask for titles. It demands authenticity. Leadership now belongs to those who've been tested in the fire and chose transformation over bitterness. This is not about hierarchy. It's about impact. It's about spiritual weight, carried with humility and lived with intention. Those who embody this kind of leadership do not command with noise. They inspire with integrity. They are not driven by ego, but by purpose. Like those who once navigated through deserts, prisons, or exile, they carry insight carved from real encounters, not theories. But that kind of emergence doesn't come without disruption. Many are already feeling it. Waves of change moving through their spirit. Some days it feels like exhaustion, other days like awakening. You may sense energetic shifts, heightened dreams, emotional surges. This is not chaos. It's calibration. These internal shifts are indicators that you are being shaped. The shedding of old frameworks, outdated agreements, or unhealed wounds may feel disorienting, but it's essential. This refinement is not meant to break you. It's preparing you for what you've been praying for. And still, the cost of ignoring this call is high. This isn't fear, it's fact. Choosing comfort over consecration leaves purpose undeveloped. Like planting nothing and expecting harvest. Refusing to prepare guarantees spiritual erosion. No one drifts into greatness. It's built, moment by obedient moment. This season is separating clarity from distraction, depth from performance. Distractions won't show up wearing red flags. They'll look like comfort, urgency, or even good intentions. But anything pulling you from assignment is an assassin in disguise. Guard your soul like it's sacred, because it is. You are standing on ground that demands your full attention. This is not the time to coast. It's the moment to fasten your focus, reclaim your fire, and silence anything trying to dull your edge. Your life, your call, your legacy depends on how seriously you take the season. You're being positioned for something uncommon. But first, the false layers must fall. The discomfort isn't failure, it's formation. Everything shaking right now is meant to reveal what's real. Let it. Let the breaking become your birthplace. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a light in someone's darkness. It might feel like the crumbling of safety, of identity, or connection. But what's actually collapsing is anything that can't carry the weight of your destiny. What seems like loss is the beginning of your true rise. Not everything painful is punishment. Some things hurt because they're holy. Don't run from the breaking. Yield to it. Let what's being undone make space for something greater. The construction of greatness always starts with demolition. And when the pieces are scattered, the foundation is finally visible. That's where your rebuild begins. Not as a repeat of your past, but as the launch point of who you were always meant to become. Watch what returns once your soul is clear. Not recycled relationships or broken patterns, but connections laced with power, timing, and truth. Everything you've endured has shaped a vessel capable of carrying vision. Let the refiner finish the work. What's ahead isn't just restoration, it's rain. Not temporary relief, but generational impact. Now rise. There's territory waiting. Some souls are not merely survivors. They are sacred ground where transformation takes root. Pain may have knocked you down, but it did not disqualify you. In fact, it positioned you. The pressure that tried to break you is the same force carving space for new depth, new purpose, and new power to rise from within. This chapter of hardship isn't your finale. It's your forming ground. The heaviness you feel is not just weight, it's construction. Something far greater is being built through what you're enduring now. You are not being punished. You're being prepared. Every ache, every tear, every crack in your comfort is an invitation to evolve. You won't come out of this season with what you had, but you will emerge with what you need. The moment for delay is over. Waiting for certainty will only leave you behind. You're not being called to hesitate. You're being called to move. The doorway before you does not open with ease. It opens with resolve. Right now, the decision is on you. Will you take the leap or shrink back? This isn't just about your outcome. It's about the ripple effect of your obedience. To rise doesn't mean the conflict disappears. It means you confront it with unshakable trust. Rising means choosing truth when fear shouts louder. It means standing your ground even when the floor feels unstable. And yes, it will stretch you. Yes, the resistance may intensify. But the one who remains planted grows roots that can't be torn out by circumstance. To retreat now is to hand your future to fear. Let that sink in. If you collapse inward, if you surrender to shame, if you allow doubt to anchor you, opportunities that carry your name may pass by unclaimed. But even if you've stumbled before, redemption is still within reach. You haven't missed your moment. You just need to decide not to miss it again. This right here is the pivot. This is the confrontation with all the old scripts, old excuses, and old fears that kept you on pause. You're not meant to recycle those patterns anymore. They've expired. What's ahead of you demands movement, courage, and the full force of your faith in action. No one ever stepped into destiny with perfect conditions. Not one world changer began without trembling hands. What separates those who rise isn't a lack of fear. It's the refusal to let fear become the final voice. The time for overthinking has passed. Now is the time to act. And with that shift comes testing. A series of deep, defining disruptions are already forming to challenge your strength, your ability to love, and your spiritual endurance. These aren't punishments, they're proving grounds. They are designed to pull hidden strength to the surface, to show you what's real and what was only borrowed confidence. Your authority will be measured, not by words, but by how you carry yourself through contradiction. Your ability to love will be tested through betrayal, through loss, through release. And your well-being, mentally, emotionally, physically, will be stretched so that you learn dependence on divine power, not your own effort. You may feel as though you're being unraveled, but you're actually being rewoven. Let the process do what it came to do. Let it shake what it must. You're not being diminished. You're being distilled. When the breaking ends, you won't be the same. And that's the point. You'll be sharper, clearer, rooted, whole. The illusion of who you had to be will fall away. And what remains will be the version of you who can carry the weight of real purpose. This is where the shallow ends. This is where depth begins. This is your call to rise, not in fantasy, but in fire. Not in noise, but in power. The test will come, but so will the unveiling. Stay the course. What's coming is heavier than you imagined, but so are you. Some are built to remain steady when everything around them unravels. You are one of them. While systems collapse, headlines ignite fear, and people search for footing in chaos, your soul was designed to hold its ground. Not because you're immune to pain, but because you are rooted in something deeper than circumstance. You stand in truth that does not shake. This era is marked by uncertainty, but that is exactly why your presence matters. While many are tossed by panic and persuasion, your clarity becomes a shelter. You do not react, you respond. And your peace is not denial. It's defiance against the confusion that tries to infiltrate your spirit. The turmoil isn't what defines you, it's what reveals you. You weren't placed here to blend in with the noise. You are here to be still when the ground splits. Your calm becomes a compass for others. Your consistency is not just for your survival. It becomes someone else's anchor. This is not the time to shrink. This is the moment your inner strength becomes visible. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a light in someone's darkness. And when this season passes, and it won't be the loud who rebuild. It will be those who stayed grounded. What you choose now determines the shape of the future. There is no room for indecision. You either walk fully in alignment or drift into collapse. There's no halfway, no comfortable delay, only commitment. This isn't a threat. It's truth. Truth without sugar. There is a cost for choosing distance from purpose, a price for ignoring conviction. You're either stepping into legacy or away from it. Each moment spent hesitating invites chaos to fill the gap. You don't need fear to motivate you, only clarity. Now is the time to align. Not tomorrow, not when it feels easier. The choice is already at your feet. The invitation is on the table. Will you follow the pull of divine instruction or keep clinging to what no longer supports your growth? Everything that opposes your mission is loud right now. Pain, temptation, distraction. But louder still is the whisper that reminds you, you were made for this. Victory isn't reserved for the few. It's available to the focused. And what you overcome now becomes the testimony that shakes off every lie spoken over your life. Triumph isn't just survival. It's stepping through fire and returning with power. It's not about avoiding damage. It's about converting every bruise into breakthrough. You were never meant to just endure. You were born to overcome with force and freedom. The question is, will you let go of limitation long enough to claim it? Your clarity begins with attention. In a world addicted to noise, your greatest weapon is spiritual focus. The more aligned you are, the less confusion can cloud your steps. Keep your spirit sharp. Stay in devotion, not for performance, but for navigation. God is unveiling strategy in the stillness, not the chaos. When you choose awareness, the fog lifts. Direction becomes visible. You no longer move out of panic, but out of peace. That is how legacy is built, one focused decision at a time. Pain has never been your end. It's been the portal. The discomfort wasn't here to destroy you. It came to escort you into your next becoming. You are shedding what once served you, but can no longer hold your weight. The ache is not random, it's sacred. Don't run from the breaking. Walk through it with open eyes. What's being dismantled is what you've outgrown, and what's waiting on the other side is a life of depth, clarity, and impact. You are being redefined, not by what tried to crush you, but by what was awakened in you as you rose. And rise you will.